book. This was an unexpected 5-star book for me. I loved this author and I loved this book. Read this one literally in one day. I was like, yo, is this me? Because like, this is me. I ate this book up. I don't want to say it's cozy because what it deals with is very hard to read about. Hello book friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kaylin and I hope you are doing so lovely. Hi guys, welcome to another sit down Sunday video. I've been gone for a couple of weeks, work's been hectic, haven't really had time to film, yada yada yada, whatever. Y'all don't care, you're just here for the video. So today I thought I would go over my top 5 books so far of 2023. I know we're a little over halfway through the year. I wanted to do this at the halfway point, but you know, you win some, you lose some. We're doing it now. So I am here to tell you the top 5 books, like I just said. So if you guys are interested in that, stick around. Make sure you guys are also subscribed because I put out weekly vlogs every single Wednesday, and sometimes I do a sit down Sunday video or just a bonus video on Sunday. Kind of depends on how my week goes, but yeah, let's just get right into it, shall we? These are in no particular order. I just want y'all to know. No particular order. I'm just gonna pull them from the pile and we're gonna discuss my thoughts and feelings, what the book's about, you know, all that. So first one I have is 7 Days in June by Tia Williams, and you guys, I adore this book. If you watch my vlogs, you know I really love this book. This was an unexpected 5-star book for me. I am typically not a romance reader. I don't really enjoy just a strictly romance book. I love when a contemporary has romance in it. I love when a fantasy has romance in it. That's pretty much it. That's where my love for romance like extends. That's it. That's all I want. So to pick up this book, and I don't know if this is exactly pitched as a romance book, like if that's where it fits, or if this is like a contemporary romance, because it deals with much bigger issues than just the romance. So I don't know, but I'm gonna go ahead and read the summary. I suck at summaries. I'm so sorry, but we're gonna read the summary. Eva Mercy is a single mom, a best-selling erotica writer who is feeling pressed from all sides. Shane Hall is a reclusive, award-winning novelist who, to who everyone's surprise, shows up in New York. When Shane and Eva meet unexpectedly at a black literary event, sparks fly. But what no one knows is that 15 years earlier, teenage Eva and Shane spent one crazy, torrid week madly in love and have been secretly writing to each other in their books ever since. On the next 7 days, amidst a steamy Brooklyn summer, Eva and Shane reconnect, but Eva's wary of the man who broke her heart. Before Shane disappears again, she needs a few questions answered. So you have Eva, who is a novelist. She writes erotica novels, and she's also dealing with a disability that you can't see. So that's another element of this book. The representation on that is very good. And then she is a single mother. And then you have Shane, who is also a writer who fell in love with Eva. Both of them fell in love together when they were very young in high school, spent a week together, and it was like a crazy mad in love week. And they've been writing to each other in their books, kind of communicating of like what they want to say to each other in a way, letting them know that they still think about each other, which is so cute. And then they meet and then stuff happens, and this was such a good book. The writing is incredible. I cannot wait to see what Tia Williams puts out next because this was so good. I gave this book a 5-star. Next is A Man Called Uwe by Frederick Backman. I love this author and I loved this book. This book made me cry. If you don't know, this book was actually made into a movie. It's called A Man Called Otto, and it's on Netflix. And Tom Hanks plays Otto, and it's just, you have this guy named Uwe who is literally the grumpiest man you will ever meet in your entire life. He kind of puts around the neighborhood, makes sure things are in order, like doesn't really like when people park where they're not supposed to park, where they don't put stuff, they don't take out their garbage right. Like he's literally that nosy neighbor that's like, you didn't do that right, I'm writing in and telling people, until one day their neighbors move in across the street, and it's this young family with 2 kids. And the kids kind of work their way into Uwe's life, and slowly but surely you kind of start to see Uwe come to life and the qualities of him that like people love and that are good. And then there's a cat that just appears along the way. So it's literally Uwe and this cat now, and the family across the street, they become like each other's family, and it's just so heartwarming. But also in this book you get the backstory of his wife and how he fell in love with his wife and that whole romantic thing, which is also heartbreaking. There was a lot of tears shed in this book. There was a lot of laughter that I did in this book. This main character, Uva, reminds me so much of my dad. Not necessarily the grumpiest thing, because my dad's not grumpy. It's just some of the things that Uva did, my dad does the same way, and I'm like, oh my god. So that may be why I really fell in love with this book and why I loved it so much, because it reminds me so much of my dad. But I think if you are someone who's looking for your next read, for something that's really going to pull on your heartstrings, warm up your heart, and make you laugh and just enjoy your time with this book, and want to just like keep reading more and more and more about Uva and the neighbors and the cat, pick this book up. Please. I gave this book a 5-star. Next we have The Last Word by Taylor Adams. I read No Exit by Taylor Adams. I haven't read any of his other works, but No Exit is one of my favorite thrillers. Read this one literally in one day. Incredible. The way he wrote this book was so good. So let me go ahead and tell you what this book is about. Emma Carpenter is living in isolation with her golden retriever, Leica, house sitting in an old beachfront home on the rainy Washington coast. Her only human contact is her elderly neighbor, Deke, and via text with the house owner, Jules. One day she reads a poorly written but gruesome horror novel by the author H.G. Cain and posts a 1-star review that drags her into an online argument with none other than the author himself. Soon after, disturbing incidents start to occur at night. To Emma, this can't just be a coincidence. It was strange enough for this author to bicker with her online about a lousy review. Could he be stalking her too? As Emma digs into Cain's life and work, she learns he has published 16 other novels, all similarly sadistic tales of stalking and murder. But who is he? How did he find her? And what else is he capable of? If you like a twisty thriller, please check this one out. If you love the isolation trope, if you love like eerie, dark, rainy kind of scenes, please pick this one up. The way this book had me shook so many times. Also, I just will say, I just want to say this because I wish someone told me this, because I almost DNF'd this book despite me giving it 5-star. The golden retriever, Leica, nothing happens to her, okay? And I don't care if that's a spoiler. I feel like people need to know, because I am someone that cannot read about animals being hurt, tortured, anything, especially a golden retriever. If you guys don't know, I personally owned a golden retriever. His name is Ollie, and he just passed in January. So goldens hold a very, very special place in my heart. So reading this with a golden retriever, I literally was about to throw hands with Taylor Adams if something happened to that golden retriever, because I'm like, we ain't doing this. We ain't doing this. I would be so angry, but nothing happens to the golden retriever. Emma is an interesting character. She reminds me so much of myself. She has anxiety. She is someone who loves to keep to herself and be her own company. She also deals with a little bit of depression. She doesn't have a lot of friends either. She's kind of just like a loner, which me. And I don't know, I really related to Emma a lot. Not about some of the things that she goes through if you've read this book, not about like the ending stuff, but pretty much a lot of it I related to her, like her personality, her quirks, like the anxiety, the depression, all of that stuff. I was like, yo, is this me? Because like, this is me. And I just want to say that the ending of this book wrapped up very nicely. It actually made me kind of tear up, and I was like, this is weird for a thriller, like ew, go away. But I love this book, and I gave this book a 5-star. The next book I'm about to show you, I'm very late to the game and I realize this, but this is, remember, this is the best books I've read in 2023, and that is Caravelle by Stephanie Garber. The way I was so mad at myself for putting this book off for years, literally years, and for no reason, because this book was incredible. The whole world, the concept of it, the characters, I ate this book up literally in a day. I really, really enjoyed this book. I'm gonna read you what's it about, because again, I'm not great in like summaries. Scarlet Dragon has never left the tiny island where she and her sister Tella live. With their powerful and cruel father, now Scarlett's father has arranged a marriage for her, and Scarlett thinks her dreams of seeing Caravelle, the faraway once-a-year performance where the audience participates in the show, are over. But this year, Scarlett's long-dreamt of invitation finally arrives with the help of a mysterious sailor. Tella with Scarlett away to the show. Only as soon as they arrive, Tella is kidnapped by Caravelle's mastermind organizer, Legend. It turns out that this season's Caravelle revolves around Tella, and whoever finds her first is the winner. Scarlett has been told that everything that happens during Caravelle is only an elaborate performance, but she nevertheless becomes immersed in the game of love, heartbreak, and magic. And whether Caravelle is real or not, she must find Tella before the 5 nights of the game are over. A dangerous domino effect of consequences is set off, and her sister disappears forever. Welcome, welcome to Caravelle. Beware of getting swept too far away. Y'all read this book. This is your sign. If you have not read this book, read this book because it is so good. You'll thank me later. Next book is Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune. I read this on my Kindle. I borrowed it from Libby, so I actually don't have the physical copy. I'm waiting to get the physical copy until I go into the bookstore because I'm weird like that and I want to go get it physically. Please, I don't know. But this book, I read it at the right time. And I wasn't gonna read this book, had no interest, but it literally appeared on my library's homepage of like rent or like borrow now, and I was like, I really like TJ Klune. I love The House on the Cerulean Sea, so let me just read this, see what it's about. Oh my god. Like I said, read this at the right time, and I'm very thankful I read it at the right time. So let me tell you a little bit what this book is about. Welcome to Sharon's Crossing. The tea is hot, the scones are fresh, and the dead are just passing through. When a reaper comes to collect Wallace from his own funeral, Wallace suspects he might be dead. And when Hugo, the owner of the peculiar tea shop, promises to help him cross over, Wallace decides he's definitely dead. But even in death, he is not ready to abandon the life he barely lived. So when Wallace is given 1 week to cross over, he sets about a lifetime of living in 7 days. Hilarious, haunting, and kind, Under the Whispering Door is an uplifting story about a life spent at the office in death spent and building a home. Literally, I don't want to say it's cozy because what it deals with is very hard to read about, but TJ Klune does it in a way that makes it cozy. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. And I literally cried like I've never cried before in reading a book. The way I cried for 2 hours after finishing this book, and I'm not even kidding you, and I wish I could say it, but I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but it was a certain thing that crossed over that just got me. I read it literally right like the week after I lost my dog. I had no idea what this book was about. I don't know if I would have picked this book up if I would have known what it was about, but it gave me peace in mind of like him leaving me in this world, and like in my mind created like an image of him like running in the grass and like enjoying it and all these things, because TJ Klune in his own way like described what the other like crossing over, like what it is in his mind, and he created this whole universe that just kind of made me feel not okay with it, because it's never okay when you lose someone or something or a pet or anything, but it kind of made me feel a little more at ease, and like I don't know, I don't know what I'm trying to say. This is weird. I don't really talk about this, but it's just, it reassured me, I guess is the word I'm looking for, of all the things I was already thinking, and that, oh okay, well this is actually like, this is okay to think like this is what he's doing. If you're gonna watch this video and take away any book recommendations, if you're gonna read any one of these books, Under the Whispering Door would be the book that I recommend, because I just think everyone can gather something from it, and especially like if you have lost someone or a pet, I feel like this is a good book to read, and it's gonna hit some hard emotions, I'm gonna tell you, but you know what? It's so good. It's so good. TJ Klune just knows how to write these stories that are just incredible. So yeah, you guys, those are my top 5 books for the first half of 2023. I will do another video at the end of 2023 going over like my whole favorites of the year, or maybe just like the second half of the year. We'll see. Let me know in the comments down below, what are your top favorite books that you have read this far. I'm always looking for book recommendations. Make sure you guys like this video because it would mean a lot to me. If you guys haven't already, you should be subscribing because I would love you here. And I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are reading lots of good books, and I will see you guys in my next video.